So another lower body dominant session today to start off the week. We've got 3 blocks here. Block A, we're going to start with Bulgarian Single Arm RDL, Bulgarian Romanian, a lot going on. So really trying to get a hip hinge here on this one. Okay, so the weight's more or less tracking along my standing leg. Targets 10 repetitions on each side for this one. So whichever side I have the weight, so here it's my right arm holding the weight, I'm going to have my right leg back on the bench or the chair, whatever you're using for the movement. So steady enough tempo here. Again, a bit of a stretch on the hamstring and the standing leg as I push the hips back, and then as I come up, I'm trying to tuck the glutes under, in the glutes, the top repetition. So I find this really good for hitting the glutes and the hamstrings. A bit of balance work as well too, partly down to the inappropriate footwear here. Probably better to do these in my socks or bare feet, but it was freezing outside. So 10 repetitions on the other side. Now we have 10 repetitions on both sides done. We're going to come into the long lever bridge. I was thinking about doing single leg variations here for 20 seconds each side. I just forgot, so just going to go for 30 seconds here at the moment. I've written 40 seconds on the prescription at the start of this video. So 30 to 40 seconds, again, keeping the legs slightly bent, so it's not like we're doing a glute bridge. I don't want a big kind of bend in the knee here. I'm trying to dig the heels down, squeeze the glutes under. I'm really trying to work the back of the thighs here, so trying to hit the hamstrings. And again, just really bracing the tummy as well, that I'm not arching my back, so back should be flat for this one. The third movement for this block are the 90-90 sliders, hip slides. I'm not sure, just call them sliders, I'm not sure what the name is. But basically here what I'm doing is I'm getting to my 90-90 position. I want to keep my torso kind of fairly neutral here, in that I'm not kind of moving around and manipulating my upper body to try and get range here. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping my shins slightly off the floor. I'm internally rotating slightly, so I'm trying to get my foot a little bit higher than my knee. I'm trying to turn my knee down a little bit. Should be feeling this through the hip. And again, just be careful that there's no pressure on the inside of your knee. Don't do these too fast. Really focus on the movement. Focus on using your hip to keep the shin lifted and the knee lifted off the floor. Gonna go, so there you go. Should be feeling it in there in the hip. 10 repetitions on each side. And then we're gonna go back to the first movement of the block. We're gonna do 3 rounds of the block. Second block, block B, we're doing the Bulgarian split squat. With this one, the setup I'm going for again is just 3 feet from the chair here. So it's kind of a nice balance between quads and glutes and hamstrings. If you're going further away from the chair, it's going to be more glutes and hamstrings. If you're bringing your foot back closer to the chair, it's going to be more quads. And that's going to require a bit more ankle mobility. So again, I'm just doing 3 feet from the chair. Trying to keep my core engaged here. And I'm going to go for 10 repetitions each side on this one. Similar format to the last block. After both sides are done, we're just doing a standard RKC plank, 30 seconds. So we're just really working or focusing on really bracing, squeezing hard here. So it's almost like I'm trying to drag my elbows towards my toes, and I'm trying to almost drag my toes towards my elbows. I'm kind of getting a real kind of compressing or bracing sensation throughout the torso, squeezing the glutes as well. So 30 seconds here. If we're doing this properly and we're squeezing hard and trying to brace everything, 30 seconds should be challenging. It's a single leg glute bridge to finish the round. This one again, what I'm trying to do is once I extend the hip, I don't want to overextend. Once I lift the hip up through the glute, I'm trying to squeeze the top for a second and then back down. So I'm trying to get as much glute here and as little hamstring as possible. Make sure the knee's not caving in again. So 10 repetitions on each side, and then it's back to the Bulgarian split squats. We're going to go 3 rounds of this block as well before we move on to the last round, to the last block. And our last block is going to be lactate retention squats. These are fairly brutal. Kind of got this from William Wayland and Cal Dietz. So what I'm doing here, I'm doing 30 seconds of squats at a fast pace here. So I mean, I think the original prescription is something like heel sprints or stadium stair sprints. So I'm going to go 30 seconds of squats here. I'm getting about 20 to 22 repetitions, I think. When that's done, when that's set as 30 seconds is up, we're holding the bottom position for 30 seconds. So the whole idea here is you're building up a bit of lactate in the legs with the high intensity effort. And now here what I'm trying to do is I'm retaining or trying to trap a bit of lactate in the muscles now for another 30 seconds here. So we're kind of trying to breathe here. I've seen variations where people are using walls or they're using chairs for balance and support here and squatting all the way down. So it's almost like a rest position. We're trying to stay in the position for 30 seconds. So when the 30 seconds are up here, we'll take a 30-second break. Again, I've seen protocols where heart rate gets back down to in and around 120 and then going again. But just for the purpose of this workout today, I'm giving myself a 30-second break. And I'm going to go back into my squats then. So legs still aren't feeling too bad at the moment, but obviously it's only one round in. Flashbacks to the old CrossFit days going on here. So next recovery, feeling the legs a little more, kind of heating up a little bit here. So again, going to stay in the position, sink down even a bit more. Another break, the legs begin to get a little bit heavy. So round number 3 coming up. Again, another 30 seconds. So what I'm trying to do here is the amount of repetitions I was kind of getting for the first round. I don't want to drop below that. Even if I can add on 1 or 2 repetitions. I want to keep the pace high. I'm thinking heel sprint or sprint kind of sensation here right now. So keep things fast. I'm not going to be train wreck. We want to keep the intensity up. And now another hold coming up. So this is where I'm kind of really beginning to feel that now, that build up. It's kind of accumulating in the legs now. So the legs are definitely feeling it. I'd like to give these a go with the heel sprints for sure, but yeah, I think squats are adequate for the moment. Alright, Alright, so the last round, last 30 seconds again, I'm shooting for at least 20 reps here. Just use the arms to really kind of help the momentum. And back into a hold, and I'm feeling it now. Last 15 seconds were a bit of a struggle. Game it there, rushing hair, that one's grand. It's not grand. Yeah, pump the fingers a bit, that will distract me. Nice one. And we are done for 4 rounds. Up we go, Dave. There you are. Finished.